me also go across to someone who really understands what the rules and the regulations are. Captain Amit Singh is joining us. He's the founder of Safety Matters Foundation, which is an NGO. Captain Singh, if you can explain to us, we as passengers, we feel that we pay through our nose to buy tickets, and we are being told that there is an aviation watchdog which is going to ensure our safety. On the ground, is that happening? What are the checks and balances where we are going wrong in?
Which is prevailing in aviation at present. If you see Spicejet as it is, has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, a lot of technical issues, be it the 737 or the ATR, but it generally points out that there is something wrong. If there is something wrong, then there has to be more stringent measures which have to be taken to ensure that the checks and balances are there, especially from the regulator's side. Recently, I think the head of safety was transferred from the post, which is a big indicator that there is something which is wrong. Who was the replacement? I'm not sure. But there has to be a message which has to be sent out to the stakeholder, which
there seems a bit of problem there. We'll just try and reconnect with Captain. Captain, we'll just come back to you. One of our viewers is calling us. Nitin, our viewer from Noida. Go ahead, Nitin.
Calling from Noida. So basically, I have very credible information since I have few friends flying in Spicejet, and it's happening only in Spicejet with a mere fleet of 30-40 airplanes, whereas we have other airlines having almost 100, maybe 80 or maybe 200 aircrafts, India or Indigo. So what the credible information, what I want to share is that the entire safety is being compromised because of the different attitude of the hierarchy sitting in Spicejet and the owners. And believe me, if DGCA doesn't come in play, some bigger mishap is going to take place. So we really need to either ground Spicejet aircrafts, or DGCA has to really come with a big stick on the owners and this hierarchy sitting there.
You've made a very relevant point. In fact, even as we speak, Nitin, ironically, right now we have this big breaking news which is coming in that the DGCA indeed has stepped in and it has ordered a probe. But let me take that point that Nitin has already raised along with the breaking news of DGCA, which has already stepped in. Captain Singh, if I can come back to you, is it an airline-specific problem, or is it a larger question of safety norms not being followed as they should be?
It is more of an airline problem. You see, it stems from two things, the technical and the financial issues. After the Kingfisher debacle, there was a regulation which was introduced that if there is an airline which is undergoing some sort of a financial crisis or a problem, there would be extra checks to ensure that safety is not being compromised. Because when there is a financial crunch, of course, spares and technical parts of the aircraft would have to be bought or loaned. So does the airline have the wherewithal to do that, or aircraft? And MAX already is involved in a lot of issues, especially a different model, 737-9, which was involved in a fuel sealant issue, in which Boeing admitted that they haven't put a fuel sealant. So who has oversight of all these things, whether the manufacturer is sending the right parts? Is the airline, there was an airline or government airline which was buying cheap spares from redundant or from the aircraft which are parked in the desert just to save money. So these are all the cost-cutting measures which the airline resort to. So that is when the watchdog has to keep a sharp eye on what is happening.
But Captain Singh, now that there are repeated instances which are coming in specifically from Spicejet, even earlier there was smoke in the cabin and we are putting out visuals of that, and several others. There are at least 4 different snags, as they are calling it, technical snags in their aircraft. Do you think at least a thorough step needs to be taken by the DGCA, perhaps even ground till there is a thorough probe into the entire matter and all the aircrafts are given a proper test?
Firstly, the top management has to be, the credentials have to be scrutinized. Proper people have to be in place, proper systems, their processes. Repeated audits have found that processes were lacking. And it is also showing DGCA in a bad light because every year there are certain audits conducted. Why are these things not picked up in the regular audits? Why do we have to undergo special audits, extraordinary audits after every incident? In the normal process, why is it not happening? Which means there's a breakdown in the whole system of checks and balances. Right. So we call it a pathological state wherein the operator tries to hide things and will only reveal only when they are caught. So that is the lowest level of safety culture, which is prevalent in Indian aviation. So we have to move beyond that, wherein if there is a problem, you have to clearly admit it and move in a collaborative manner, which means the regulator will also help you, but the operator themselves have to be open, come out clean. And the problem
and that seems to be the crux of the problem for the operators themselves to take onus and come clean, as Captain Singh is saying.